Ian,
Dave,
you have some explaining to do.
what did I do? What did I do now?
Well, I gotta say, I was getting pretty used to single dad Ian with the mustache and the flat brim hat, and it is quite amazing to see you just revert back to your standard form, I should say.
Yes. Yeah, I was starting to enjoy the mustache, but then as soon as I shaved it, I was like, oh no, that's better.
Yeah, it was like your alt skin in a video game, like in Street Fighter, you could have like Ryu in like, blue or whatever instead,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome to Apex Adjacent, everybody. Mustache Adjacent. The mustache had to go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I had a work trip to go on, and I'm already fairly unprofessional, so I didn't need to work against myself that much.
You can blend into so many settings in your look, and that was too much of a look for you to be transparent in other spaces. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little much. It was a little much.
Yeah. But
also,
I enjoyed it.
It also grows like straight. I didn't really capture it on the camera, I don't think, but it grows straight out from my face. So it just like, remember the Trapper Keeper episode of South Park?
Yes.
Where it starts assimilating things. That's what my facial hair does eventually. It just starts grabbing like small woodland creatures and like huddled immigrant families, and just like, there's someone burning garbage in a barrel in there. Like, it's not good. So
I was imagining a much more like I guess twee, like your mustache is sticking straight up from your face, so that's what you use to clean off your LPs, right? like your dust brush for your LPs.
Yeah.
Yep. Just this full Ian ecosystem is what I like.
That'd be amazing.
Right? Yeah.
And I just use like a whiskey flavored oil on it, so I just always taste whiskey.
Yes. The finest LP brushes are made of Ian hair.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's start a boutique. Yeah.
They go for big money and like black market Mongolian bazaars. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
car podcast. Yes.
What are we doing today?
Ian, we've got a bunch of stuff. Okay, here, let's do a quick table of contents, TOC. All right. We got to talk about our buddy Dana for a minute. We're going to loop back on automotive quick wins. I got an autocross update. On the racing tip, you've got some F1 stuff to talk about. We've got Victoria Scott put out a photo book, so we're going to talk about that. You had a rental car. We both have license plate games for each other. Okay, but real quick.
Okay.
Ian, we need to send some good vibes to our buddy Dana down in Florida. Okay? All right.
It's got good vibe sands.
I want everybody listening, right, to think some good thoughts for our buddy Dana. Just having a rough go of some stuff. So we just wanted to let you know we're thinking about you, and sending you all of the thoughts that will cause your cars not to break, and things like that. So yes. Okay.
Literally the least we can do.
Yes. But we love you. We're very thankful for you, and we hope you're doing okay. So anyway, all right.
Thank you, Dave.
No problem.
Can I do my Formula One news really quick?
Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's talk Effington ones.
Formula Effington 1. So This is Dave's favorite topic.
Yeah.
However, there was some very serious drama today. So this is Tuesday, the 2nd of August, correct? Yes.
Yeah, you almost said April. Yeah,
I almost did. April 2020. Yeah. So today was Tuesday. A few days ago, Sebastian Vettel announced that he was retiring.
He was a Ferrari driver.
He
went to Aston Martin.
He was Red Bull. He won 4 championships with Red Bull, and then he moved to Ferrari, and then he moved to Aston Martin a few years ago, and now he's retiring.
Okay.
And so obviously that frees up a seat. And if you don't know, the summer break of which we currently started. There's a couple week gap in the Effington 1 schedule. It's called silly season because it's like when all the driver changes happen.
Oh, really?
For the following season.
No way. Okay.
Yeah. And it is fucking delivering this year. Like, so good. So Vettel is leaving, which is a big enough thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's always such a great presence, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and
always.
He's only like 35, 36 years old.
Yeah.
Something like that, so he's whatever. Anyway, we're all dying. It's fine.
yeah, that wasn't your own age sinking in right there. Yeah.
No, but it's okay because there's still one driver on the grid who's older than me, and that is Fernando Alonso. And God bless him. The man can play politics better than anybody in the game. He has a reputation for just causing political chaos everywhere he goes. Just crazy, right? Like, he just is ruthless. He announced today that he's taking Sebastian Vettel's spot over at Aston Martin. He's 41 years old.
Okay.
He's taking Sebastian Vettel's spot. His current team, Alpine, had no idea. They learned about it from his press release.
Oh, no.
So already that's embarrassing for them. And then there was a story going around that he was like, he couldn't be they couldn't find him. The team principal said he was on a boat in Greece. He then posts a story to his Instagram, a selfie of him in Spain with a thing that says like paradise on it and just like a thumbs up.
Okay.
Not on a boat.
Very much not on a boat. Uh-huh.
So then Alpine, continuing to trip all over their own dicks, announced that their reserve driver, Oscar Piastri, I always get that wrong, Oscar Piastri, it was going to be driving for them in 2023. No. Oscar Piastri then, from his own account, is like, no, they didn't tell me anything about this. I don't have a contract. I'm not driving for them next year.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just chaos now. And McLaren is like, everybody's driving for us.
Okay.
It's in all my years of watching F1, this is the craziest, contract, musical chairs thing that I can ever remember.
Gotcha.
It's pretty crazy. And the really funny thing now is obviously F1 Twitter is just having a field day with this. And if you look at, I was going to, before the show started, I was going to look to confirm that I was pronouncing Oscar Piastri's name correctly.
Okay.
And I went and I saw this Wikipedia page. His Wikipedia page has been edited an absurd number of times in the last 6 hours. Okay. And as you refresh it, it would say he's driving for Ferrari next year. He's going to be a London cab driver next year. He's driving for McLaren next year.
Didn't Vettel have London cab driver? I thought someone else had that on their Wikipedia page.
I don't remember, but yeah. It's
okay.
It was a kind of a wild day on F1 Twitter, which was lovely.
Okay.
It was a nice distraction.
I can't reach it. Oh. Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite thing that I got to tweet about it was a little farther down. There's this really great GIF of Fernando Alonso in a lawn chair.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen this before.
That's when he crashed out one time, or his engine conked. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. And yeah, so there was the news story about the team principal not being able to reach him on the phone. And so I tweeted him in the lawn chair, just kicking back.
Yep. Right.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's Photoshop him on a boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's his post.
Yeah.
There's a pavement behind him. Very much not on a boat.
Yeah. And then El Plan. I don't know if you know what that is, but that's whenever he always talks about El Plan.
Okay.
Spanish. As his overarching strategy for his Formula One career. Okay. And so I tweeted the hashtag El Plan with the Elmo fire gif.
Yeah. Also, I saw that our buddy Eric had tweeted at us that Lewis Hamilton is now part owner of the Denver Broncos.
That is true. Yes.
And so, I mean, Lewis has to come on our show now because we're an automotive podcast in Denver, right?
Yeah. But we know nothing about football. And you don't watch F1. I don't know how that would go.
I think it would go great. We'd have a great time talking to Sir Lewis.
Lewis the Hamilton, come karting with us.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be hilarious if he just showed up at podium?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So, I mean, Lewis the Hamilton has to come on our show now. So,
contractually obligated.
Yeah, let's secret that. Let's put it out there, right? Yeah. So thank you, Eric, for lining that interview up for us.
Yeah. Put him in touch with his people.
Yes, exactly.
Have his people call our people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the F1 scuttlebutt. It was a joy. It was a joy today.
Meanwhile, Kimmy's joined a pickleball team.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like we need. Everyone always talks about wanting like younger drivers or whatever, but older drivers are just better shit stirrers because they care less about their like political standing or whatever, and they just are like Vettel and Alonso and to some extent Lewis and certainly Kimmy. Like we're just so good at like, no, I'm not playing this game. I'm doing what I want to do.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. Nice.
Anyway, that was it. I appreciate that.
I like that it's silly season. Yeah. Good silly season.
Silly season.
Just silly season. Yeah. Right on.
Let's keep
choo-chooing
going.
Keep choo-chooing?
Yeah.
All right. So remember when we were talking about automotive quick wins?
I remember. Yes.
Right? Talking about my buddy Ed and foil tape fixing his Honda Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we asked folks to send in their quick wins, and we certainly encourage you to keep doing that. But our buddy Chris up in Washington State sent this in. He said he had this issue once where his 1990 Honda Civic would randomly die. Sometimes it would start right up, sometimes it wouldn't. Right? What's worse than an intermittent issue, right?
Yeah.
It took him days to figure it out, but it turned out that the screw that held the rotor in place inside the distributor had backed out. Fixed it in 2 minutes with an Allen wrench.
That's a great one.
Right?
It actually reminds me of one that I had.
Really?
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't mention this one on the show.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It was my similar vintage SHO, my 91 SHO. I used to go, whenever I would go over big bumps or railroad tracks.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Complete electrical failure.
And I'm sure you never went over railroad tracks at a rapid pace.
Even at just like a normal person pace, like big bumps of any sort, I would get random complete electrical failures.
Okay. All right.
And, I was like, 21 at the time or whatever. So a little baby. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And it took me several weeks to figure out that I had several loose ground wires. And so like I would go over the bumps and the ground wires would lose contact with the chassis. And so electricity's, no electrons for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you had a gravity-based electrical system.
Yeah. And then I screwed it back in, and then I fixed the issue. And I was like, well, I'm a mechanic now, obviously.
That's why it's called ground, Ian. It only works when you're on the ground.
Yeah. See? Right? You understand.
Yep. Nice. Right on.
It only works when you're on the ground.
Yeah. Magnets, how the fuck do they work?
Yeah. Kinda.
No, but like to kind of like tag off of the like thinking back to like when we were very young, like with our cars, right? My wife and I were talking about this a little bit ago because like I don't I ever had the mind for maintenance that I do like within the last like 3 or 4 years, right? Where like I've preemptively replaced an alternator, right? Like just switching that in my mind to like, oh, like this has 140,000 miles on it. Like I'm going to swap it out before it's broken, you know, like just that, like, that didn't come to me. Maybe it comes to people earlier, you know. I think I feel like I'm kind of like a late bloomer when it comes to like taking that maintenance, like safety mindset, you know? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, and I think there's also an element too of like, you know, to generalize, dudes as they get older tend to get into routines a little bit more rigidly, I feel like. Yeah. You know, like showing up to the coffee shop every day and eating a donut with your friends or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you're just very lucky that yours has been channeled into spreadsheets about car maintenance.
Right. Yes. Instead of, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. Whereas my life is still, to borrow a phrase from one of my favorite albums of the year, a chaos space marine is still what my life is.
Well, you have 2 tiny chaos agents, right? Yeah, you have 2 tiny chaos lance corporals kicking around. So yeah. Of course, yeah. So it's different for sure, right? But yeah, like I don't know. It's different, and I'm thankful for that, you know. But yeah, just I don't know. Like I look back on all the maintenance I just straight up ignored as a youth, right? Like going to get my oil changed one time, like I think it was a little bit after I moved here, so I was like 22. I hadn't changed the oil in my truck forever. You know, I was treating it very bad. It's a Nissan pickup truck. It thrives on neglect, right? But the guy, like the old man at the lube shop, came out and yelled at me in the waiting room. Like he was so upset, right? Like not like trying to upsell me. Like he was just like disappointed dadding me, and I felt so bad. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Right in front of other customers. It was not a slow day.
Oh no. Oh dang, you've never told me that story before.
I didn't think about it until my wife and I were talking about, like, you know, all the stuff we didn't know, right? Like she was about to go on a road trip with her family. They were caravanning out to see some relatives, and you know, like her brother-in-law checked, this was forever ago, checked her oil right before they left. She barely had any oil in, right? You know, and it's like, you know, like we just, like it just wasn't where our heads were at. Like it took a while to get like programmed for that, you know? And I know a lot of people like are brought up and taught that from an early age, you know, or like the emphasis of that, you know, but like, you know, we weren't, you know, like to that degree. And so I hadn't thought about that guy yelling at me at the Quick Lube place until really my wife and I were talking about it. It's crazy how like memories can just unlock like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you sell that truck, or did you send it to the graveyard or to the junkyard? What happened to it? Yeah,
that was the 1994 Nissan pickup truck, 2-wheel drive king cab, 4-cylinder, 2.4 Z24 engine. Right. This is right before Nissan started calling them the Frontier. I think that started in 98. Right. But the transmission went out on it because I never changed the fluid, but it had like 180,000 miles on it. Something, tons of miles. I don't know if the transmission fluid was ever changed, you know?
Right.
And so the transmission went out on it. On Colorado Boulevard in heavy traffic. I managed to somehow get it into Swing Ties parking lot on 8th, right?
Oh no. Okay.
Right? Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, it's a insane traffic like spot in Denver. It's chaos. The parking lot's a nightmare.
Well, yeah, and even that is not a great place to leave a broken car.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So I managed to actually limp it home, like just like in whatever was left of first gear. It was an automatic transmission.
Oh, okay.
And I got it home. I put it on. I had a shop look at it, and it was just carnage in the transmission pan, right? And I didn't have the money for a replacement transmission. My parents were able to hook me up with a car for cheap, right? And it was sat in the garage for a little bit at a place that I had, and I put it on Craigslist on a Friday night for $1,000 or best offer, right? Pictures, everything. I had it sold. That was at 7 p.m. on a Friday night on Craigslist. I had it sold by 11 p.m. that night for $100 over asking. Because
really?
And I don't know if it's still the same, but the mini truck market is just, it's always been insane, right? People just that's like your truck and ladder HVAC tile guy, like that's their work truck.
Landscape, yeah.
Exactly. Dropping a new transmission in for one of those folks is nothing to them, right?
Well, and I mean, the junkyard's full of them, like full of those parts. So especially then. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, now $1,000 would be a screaming deal for even with a broken transmission.
Right. Yeah.
And 150,000 miles, like what? That's
for a Nissan pickup truck with no rust. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the guy showed up. Like I talked to a guy over email for a bit. He showed up that night to give me $200 cash and left just so that I would take the ad down. And then he came back the next day with a trailered it away, gave me another $900 cash.
Great.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well done.
Thank you. Yeah. Deferred maintenance. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So I think that there's times in our lives where we were lucky to get away with stuff, right? Definitely. Like putting stuff off, right? You look back and you think like, oh, this could have gone so much more horribly wrong. Right. All of those kinds of like, sliding doors kinds of things. But yeah. So
definitely.
I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. That's what your ground, electrical ground thing made me think of. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just being young and dumb, man.
Yeah. So dumb.
Yep.
What else we got? Let's talk about you being old and dumb and doing autocross.
Absolutely. Old man Pappy Severnuk went autocrossing, number 4 for the season with the BMW Club. Yes, I have some news, Ian.
Yes.
My tires are fucking donezo. It is nothing but understeer. So, I think I told you I was having struggles with I was chalking the tires and kept rolling over onto the sidewall. No, the tires are just done. Like there's just no more structural support to.
So remind me what you had before. What do you have on there now?
I have some Bridgestone Potenza S001s. So like just a straight up like summer tire, right? Like nothing crazy here. I'll share a browser because I have some pictures and stuff. Let me pin you, let me pin me, and we'll share a browser. Yeah. So I got them with the wheels when I got the car from Jesse, right? And it's like, let's just send these tires off, let's just burn them off, right?
Yeah.
I have officially done that, Ian. I have done that. So I hopped on Tire Rack the night I came home. Oh, you can easily tell that your tires are done when you're autocrossing when you do your first run, and that is your absolute best run of the day.
Right.
Even though I was familiar with the course, So my wife's daughter's husband was with me and dual driving the Fiat, and both of our times just kept getting progressively worse during the day. Yeah. His name is Thomas. He did a fantastic job. He drove the Nugget like it needed to be driven, but it was just understeer city, man. It was turn straight line, like Yeah, like picking up speed.
Now, so have you tried swapping front to back?
Already done that.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. So the back's
Cool.
even worse. Yep. So
are you showing me? Because I always use our Twitter feed. I just want to make sure.
I just haven't pulled up a picture yet. So we're going to solve this understeer issue two ways, right?
Okay.
We're going to throw some fucking money at it. And I bought a super chonky rear torsion bar that Andrea Peterson, that was on the show last week, told me to get. I know I need to get this, right?
There's nothing better than a friend telling you add to cart.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. 28 millimeter rear torsion bar for
I
the Nugget.
still see the Twitter feed.
Do you? Oh, shoot. Oh, that's because I pasted the URL in the wrong window. Thank you, Ian.
No problem.
There we go. How about let's accept some cookies and look at this thing.
Yeah.
There you go. It's just a chonky red bar.
Oh, it's visible from the outside?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's worth the $200. That's worth the $995.
You're right.
Of the $200 and $995. The $995, that's because it's visible from the outside of the car.
Right? Yeah.
$200 is for handling. $9.95 is for showing off to your friends.
That extra pizzazz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they know. They make it in red and they're like, you get one color. You don't need anything else. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like buy it or go home.
Yeah.
Right?
Italian, red.
Right?
We drank wine on the days that we did the other colors. It's fine.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Stock is 22 millimeters on these. So this is a significant jump. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk tires. So I'm curious to hear what you're gonna go with.
So let me show you what I wanted. So I did some research, I did some reading, I was on the Grassroots Motorsports stuff and their guides and all that. This is what I landed on. These bad boys, Bridgestone Potenza RE71 RS.
That's what I have on my car.
Okay, I'm probably going to come by and steal them in the middle of the night because these are on back order from Tire Rack for at least 60 days.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Right, and there's only 3 events left and they're all within a month and a half. So I wouldn't get them. So
have you checked Discount Tire?
I did not. But
they're usually competitive with Tire Rack and they'll mount them and stuff for free.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I may have. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. So Tire Rack, I was like, you know what? I'll order them. Then Tire Rack will tell me what the back order is looking like, and then I'll go from there, right? Because if it's there's another event coming up on the 13th, so it's like if I'm gonna make it, I kind of gotta hurry, right?
Yeah.
Also, I want to let you know I'm stepping down from a 17 to a 16 for the front, and and they have a little bit more meat on them, a little higher sidewall, right? Just a tiny bit.
Are you gonna go staggered setup?
Yes. So
really?
I'm gonna drive what's on there to the track, and I'm gonna swap these fronts on there.
Just the fronts. Okay.
Just the fronts, right? The back tires might as well just be painted on, like they're just for show, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
if you can't get these, what are you thinking?
So I have already ordered because I need a stiff sidewall, right? Like that is, and these are known for having an incredibly stiff sidewall, right? So what I ended up getting was I had 2 options. I had the Toyo Proxies, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then I had...
So I'm not seeing those.
That's okay. Then I had these guys. The Hankook Ventus RS4. That's what I ended up getting. Tire Rack had 10 of them in Georgia, and they are on their way to me now.
That's what my dad runs on the Maserati. And I think that's what the other team runs on the S10 as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've driven these before. These are good.
Nice. So in my open class, I can go down to a 200 tread wear tire.
Yeah.
And yeah, these are known to have like some good endurance, so they should last most of a season for me. Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, like, so autocross, I mean, do you like drive around to get them warm first?
Right. So there's the heat cycling, right? Because
Yeah.
a tire, like it's apparently important to heat cycle some tires, right?
Yes.
These are tires that you are supposed to heat cycle. So it's not necessarily like getting the tire warm at the event, but doing a thermal cycle like well before the event, because like the chemical structure in the tire actually needs to change and like stuff needs to rebond.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think Tire Rack will do it for you.
They will, but since they are shipping them in from Georgia, they're not. They're coming to me uncycled.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is there's a big parking lot near me, and I'm gonna go turn some medium-sized circles until I get nauseous one way, turn them the other, and then I'm gonna drive home slowly, and just take them off the car for more than 24 hours.
Yeah. Now, do you think the officer that stops you will have heard the heat cycle excuse before, or is this going to be the first time that he hears it?
This will be the first time. First time. I'm going to do it in the middle of the day when it's like 90 something degrees, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it very fast. So
get the little. Do you have a little laser?
I do, the little infrared thermal gun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Make sure they get up to the right temperature, which I don't know what that is yet, but yeah.
No idea.
Temperature. Yeah.
Temperature. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm curious to hear what you think about these, because I'm curious if they will warm up, if they'll be sticky. Like for an autocross event, because I know like they're good in an endurance race,
right.
But you have a lot longer to get them warm and
right.
everything
Right.
else, so
right. Yeah. With autocross, and so it like especially with dual driving, the tires get warm and they stay that way, like to the point where like you actually need to water spray them to cool them down a little bit between runs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted, please.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to be the guy that switches tires at autocross. So
I love it.
But God,
I love this development.
Ian, it was so slow. My times were dreadful. There were like completely bone stock BRZs beating me and stuff like that. I was not in optimal form. My first time was a 47.8 something, right? Like my time, like when I was trying to like be a little bit nicer to the tires and not understeer so much, was a 51 something. Like, I couldn't. Yeah, there was just nothing. Like they just kept rolling over onto the sidewall, even at like 45 psi.
Oh man, yeah. Done.
They're just not for the thing that I'm trying to do. So Yep.
Well, this will make a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of like learning how to drive the car again on the autocross course, right?
Yeah.
Because I think like I've had some progression with more and more understeer at every event. And now like I'm hitting a reset button where I'm going to have all the grip.
Yeah. And
I hope I don't fucking roll it like Andrea's.
Shh. We don't talk about that. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. So that's autocross update number 4.
Thank you.
Yes.
Autocross update. Let's talk about another friend of the show.
Okay.
Victoria.
Absolutely. Ian.
Yes.
Victoria Scott, wonderful writer, wonderful photographer, right? All around fantastic Twitter presence, right?
Yes.
Advocate, fundraiser, right? She put out a photo book on itch.io. If you're familiar with indie games and stuff like that on these their computers, you might already know itch.io, but you can publish like PDF like photo books and stuff like that and sell them there. I bought it. It's fantastic. It's breathtaking. It's called The Pilgrimage. It centers around her time in the desert with a delightful cherry red Toyota 4Runner first gen, the kind that had the top that could be removed, right? And like a journey, a pilgrimage. And it's great. We're going to have a link to it in the YouTube description. I've already tweeted something about it. But seriously, like it's pay what you can for it. So like, even if you can't afford anything, you can still get it. The photos are breathtaking. It's like one of those things of like just beauty that is such a nice bright spot, every now and then. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and if you want this and you can't pay Victoria anything for it, but you feel like she should get something for it, tweet us and I'll throw some extra in there.
There you go.
I'll buy a second copy.
Yep. Always remember, like with that kind of stuff, like not everybody can buy something. That's okay. It's always free to retweet, right? Like that helps folks as well. I know they appreciate that. We appreciate it ourselves. So yeah. Right. But that's very nice of you, Ian. Yeah. And I'll certainly help out with that. So yeah. So anyway, absolutely check that out. Check the YouTube description. victoriascott.itch.io, itch.io. Yeah.
Congratulations, Victoria. It looks awesome. I'm excited to dive into it.
Yeah.
Let's keep the friend of the show theme going.
Okay.
Because Dave, I have a license plate game for you.
I love it when you get all pointy. I'm
all pointy today. I don't know why.
That's okay. It's early for us.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got at least 53 minutes before you see Crypt Keeper, Dave. Yeah.
Okay. So we several weeks ago we had our friend of the show, Zach Clapman, from the Smoking Tire, was on the show. And we played the license plate game with him, and he thoroughly enjoyed it to the point where he has been sending us license plates that he has seen in California to our Instagram account. And so now, Dave, so the three of these, for whatever reason, I just felt like they worked kind of well together.
Okay.
And they're all three from Zach. And so this is a license plate game that I have called Zach Spatch number 1.
Okay. California is a gold mine for plates.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I assume they are in the Dave Don't Look folder. Oh, yes. I see Zach Spatch number 1, and then the solution folder, which I'm forbidden to go into. Thank you, Wayne Knight. Yes. Yeah, okay.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Zach Spatch number 1. I'm really excited about this. California goes off with their vanity plates.
They sure do.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. First up, off the hop, we got a bright orange Toyota Prius. Okay. Yep. Prius C. Thank you. Mm-hmm. All right. Then we have a black Jeep Wrangler without the angry eyes. So, like, I think this is okay.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have a Tesla Model 3, just in gray, right? The
dual motor.
Yeah.
But nothing else really super special about it.
Okay. Nothing else fancy. Okay.
It's being washed.
Yes, it is. It's being washed. Yeah. Let's look at the Jeep. Very shiny, very new looking California black plate. I mean, it looks great. Keep it as is. This looks like a fun Jeep, right?
They look fine as they are. Yes.
Right. That's what it's supposed to be, right? Dual motor Tesla. It's got the California clean emission stuff stickers on it, so it can use the HOV lanes and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Okay. And our plates are Dadmin, DADMIN, like, or it could be admin, like I'm a system admin.
Oh, didn't think about it that way.
You didn't? No,
but
okay.
Admin, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay. Then derp car, DER.
Get admin on the phone. Sorry, I stepped on your reading the second plate.
You mean he's in charge of the child processes?
Right. Yes. See. That's gonna work with like 3 people that listen to this.
Yep. Then you've got derp car, DERPCAR. And then lastly, you have love your kids. Don't tell me what to do. LUV or lover kids.
Or love our kids.
Love our kids. Okay. All right.
There's so many ways to read this plate.
Yeah.
And none of them are especially uncreepy.
Oh, yeah. I went straight to love your kids, but it doesn't even really say that. It says love our kids.
Mm-hmm. Or love our kids.
LUVRKIDS. Okay.
Or love your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, Ian. I'm giving Dadmin the Tesla. I'm going straight there.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm thinking is like, as like Elon loves the memes, right? And he's so great at the memes. Like maybe derp car would be something that somebody would do on a Tesla. Okay, I'm changing it. That's the dumbest plate. It's going on the Tesla. It's going on the Tesla.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Derp cars on the Tesla. Love our kids is going on the Prius because it seems like a pious thing to say. Okay.
Just wholesome.
Yep. That means Dadmin is going on the black Jeep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's
now before we lock in our final answer, I'm curious about the Dadmin on the Jeep and like because Dadmin I think is like, obviously we're both IT people,
right.
You know, what's give me your picture of the person who's driving the Jeep with the Dadmin plate? Like,
yeah.
Which flavor of IT guy are we talking here?
I think we're going the flavor of IT guy that like is the guy that like has been there too long, right? Is still doing the same thing, keeping like the open VMS system going. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Somehow is still running the only computer running Novell NetWare. Right.
Right.
And still like yells about how its permission management structure is so much better than Windows. Right.
Yeah. I know exactly this person. Yes.
Right. Okay. So I think that person in like they're not going to modify a Wrangler. They're not going to angry eye it.
Okay.
They live in California. So like they live in California. Right. Mm-hmm. So a Wrangler fits the lifestyle.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Right. But
okay. So now what flavor of IT person would it be for the other two cars with that same plate?
Okay. So admin on the Tesla is absolutely the IT douche, right? Like the know-it-all IT guy that like when they walk into X department, there's some eye rolls, right?
Yeah.
You know, you know, Brendan's going to fix all of our problems, you know, right? Yeah. On the Prius to admin, I feel like it's the glorified help desk person, right? Like it is like they might have like the lowest risk system that somebody put them in charge of.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. And they're just excited.
Or like they're a help desk person, but they were like a CTO back in like the .com crashed.
Okay.
And now they have like a 4-hour commute, which is why they have this car.
Yes. And 3 children, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to change any of your answers?
I mean, probably, but
do you remember what your answers were?
Yes, the Tesla was derp car just because.
Right.
Yeah. The Jeep was Dadmin and the kid lover is the Prius.
Well, Dave.
I
have mostly bad news for you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You got all of them wrong.
No, Ian, no.
You get a single one right.
Ian.
Your first instinct was correct.
On admin on the Tesla.
Dadmin. Database admin. Yeah.
Remind me, I want to loop back to Tesla vanity plates after this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, love our kids or love your kids or love our kids or please punch me in the face is the Jeep and then Dirt Car.
Wild card. That's the Charlie of the group coming in.
Well, and I feel like the context of it being washed is also very strange.
Yes.
For some reason.
Yes, you're right. You think that would never see an ounce of dishwashing soap, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. Anyway, thank you, Zach.
Yes. Thank you, Zach. You officially stumped me. Yeah.
Yeah. For those. And yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, they just kind of went together. So
yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Zach Spatch.
Oh man. Yeah. Thank you, Zach. First inaugural Zach Spatch. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And boy, did I whiff that one.
Yeah. Keep them coming.
Yeah. I do want to loop back on the state of Tesla vanity plates.
Yes.
These Tesla freaks are reaching. They are reaching for anything even vaguely electronic adjacent with their vanity plates now. I saw one the other day and I can't even remember, but it was you've made a hop and then you've made one more hop to get the plate. Like, all the techie words, all that stuff is, I mean, they're all taken. They're all taken. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, really all of them really just say, Elon, please love me. And
right.
He never will.
Yes. Yes. Please love me, Space Daddy.
Take me with you.
Yeah.
All right. What else did we got? What else did we do?
Oh, Ian, let's see. How about some stuff that folks have seen out there?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did want to say thank you for highlighting that on our talkabouts here. Just to loop back to autocross real quick. So PETA, our good buddy PETA, hello PETA, was with us.
Hey.
And so remember, Ian, like we've been karting with PETA, what? I don't know.
Bunch of times. Yeah.
Bunch of times, right? Probably, I don't know, maybe done at least like 30 heats with a guy, right? Mm-hmm. Remember, like there was a point with PETA's karting evolution where there was just a switch that was flipped.
Yeah.
And like he just got it and he started consistently beating me. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. I saw the same switch flip at autocross for Old Boy last weekend. Nice. He just out of nowhere, he just took a deep, like 3-second chunk into his times.
Yeah.
And like I was working the course while he was driving. Sometimes we're in the same driving heat, so we don't get to watch each other, right? Mm-hmm. But like I was shagging cones so I could see him on the course, and I had good eyes on like a really slow technical part. Yeah. And like the beginning of the day, he was very slow through it. And then like his last few runs, he was just crushing it. Like, nice. Like 3 seconds over like what most people were doing, like 41 to 45 second runs.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. He got 6th in his class that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
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 But you're right. That's exactly what happened. Because he was like kind of hanging out in like the, a fast time at where we go karting is 30 seconds, 29 seconds, somewhere in there. And he was kind of hanging out in like the 31s, like the mid 31s for a long time. And then you're right. Just one day.
A switch. Seriously, a switch.
Right. Low 30s, yep. Like it was huge jump. And he's just been there ever since. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So he has arrived. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great to hear.
Right. It's so great, like being able to like work the course and see your friends autocross. And because that's, it's great seeing them throw their cars around,
Did you get to drive the M3 on the autocross course?
I have not. PETA gave me the opportunity to drive it, and I chose not to. I think during the test and tune, maybe because before the season started, they had a test and tune event where you could just basically do as many runs as you wanted. I think PETA ended up doing like 12. I did like maybe 10.
Nice.
All you had to do was keep getting back in line.
Yeah.
And awesome. And so we'll probably do that again next season. I'll probably see what I can do in the M3. It is the best handling car I've ever driven in my life.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's so different than the Fiat because like you're basically just like screaming the Fiat. Like you just have to like brute force throw that thing into things.
Right.
And like PETA's car is like delicate and floating, right? You know, it's very precise and it's very,
yeah.
Right?
Totally different.
Right. Meanwhile, like I'm just like, I've got like a hammer and like, just like, I'm basically taking like the cordless drill and trying to drive a thumbtack into a wall with it. Right.
Right.
You know, where PETA has the right tool, tap, 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 you know, right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's when we talk about PETA's tool. So there you go. You're welcome, PETA. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So sorry. Thank you for catching that, Ian, because and so if anybody has a story about when a switch like flipped for them, whether it be like mechanical switch flipped, you know, driving, racing, karting, like any of that stuff, like a switch flip for you and like something started to make sense.
Yeah.
We want to hear about it because that kind of stuff's cool. We dig it. Right.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. When do you like, I feel like either you have a switch flipped or some people come pre-flipped. Like I feel like you, Ian, come pre-flipped.
No, I have big plateaus.
Okay.
So what happens is I come in, I think, you know, at a decent
better
pace.
than average, better than average. Probably
slightly better than average, but then I'll hit plateaus that last long periods of time.
Okay.
You know, much longer than what PETA had. PETA got down to into the 30s faster, and partly I think honestly is, you know, I was going by myself a lot or whatever before we started karting together, and you know, it's like, you know, if you have somebody fast to follow, you figure stuff out a little bit faster and whatever. But anyway, you know, my plateaus tend to last a long time, and I fixate on them, and then I'll stop thinking about it, and I'll get past it, and then I'm like, oh well, that's what I was supposed to be doing the whole time.
Okay,
you know, that's usually what happens for me.
Nice. Right on.
Anyway,
any hoozle.
What do you want to talk about next? We got what? 2 more things to do. We got a license plate game and
how about some listener stuff?
Okay.
Ian, I want your take on this. Our buddy Jared saw something that our buddy Ike might like. He saw a Fiero trunk on a trunk. Like a
trunk on a Fiero trunk.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yep. Yeah. It is a red Fiero with a trunk on the trunk. Yeah. I mean,
that is I'm going to say just an ambitious strapping technique.
Yep. Especially since it's only on one side and very close to the edge of the trunk.
Well, but it's also across the long ways, it looks like, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. There is one long ways. Okay.
There's also one long ways, but it's just like hooked on the fender.
Yes,
which doesn't seem ideal. And to be fair, there's a luggage rack on there. There is a luggage rack.
Yep. Yeah. The rule for that luggage rack is you do a crisscross. You go diagonal crisscross.
Yeah. This seems sketchy. And I do appreciate that this was taken from the lane, not right behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Does this look like the V6 Fiero to you? I think it might.
I don't know. I wouldn't know how to tell. But I guess maybe the exhaust tips are different.
Yeah, maybe? And I think the V6s may have had a different body kit than the 4 cylinders. Yeah, but I'm sure I'm wrong. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this person's clearly not making good decisions because, I mean, Fiero and then this and then
Yeah, I do like that. Like the latch on the trunk is also unlocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sketchy. Love it.
Yeah. Our buddy Mark saw a 1941 Special Deluxe.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, actually, I know where this is.
You do?
Is this in Denver?
Either Denver or Fort Collins. Yeah.
Yep, I know where this is.
Oh, okay.
It's right by Wash Park.
Oh, car landmark. Okay.
Yep, this is a car landmark.
Oh, sweet. Okay. It looks amazing. That color blue is so great.
I'm fairly certain. I might be wrong, but
nice.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I dig it. Yeah. Thank you, Mark, for sending that in.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that blue.
Right.
I want a KitchenAid mixer in that color.
There you go. Right. Yeah. I had to go into the office a little while ago, and stop me if I've shown this on the show before. I couldn't remember, and it was still in my camera roll. So, of course, I'm going to the office. What am I driving, Ian?
The vroom vroom Fiat.
Yeah, because there's a parking garage there, and I can make all the noises in the parking garage.
Right.
Yes. But I made car friends when I was there and parked next to this thing.
Oh, amazing.
A crazy cherry International. Yeah.
That's
Look
beautiful.
at how clean that thing is.
That's gorgeous.
Right?
Worth more than your house now.
Yeah, right?
Things have gotten, they were so cheap for so long.
Yeah.
And now they're crazy expensive.
Yeah. So thank you, whoever decided to one-up me in the parking garage that day. Because my Fiat's cool, but it's not this cool.
Yeah.
Right?
I meant to ask you, has anyone said anything to you about your hood vents?
No, nobody said anything to me about the hood vents.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious if anyone at like Autocross was going to say anything to you about them.
Not yet. No. I did get I did have somebody say something to me about the Fiat in general. Ian, remember when I cut my fingers and had to go to urgent care and get stitches?
Mm-hmm.
I was cleaning a knife yesterday, and the knife slipped, or the sponge slipped, and I cut my freaking thumb.
Who gave you permission to touch knives again?
I was doing it unsupervised. I was going rogue and wanted.
We've talked about this.
I really wanted an avocado, Ian.
Okay.
Went to urgent care. Thankfully, just glue for this one. It's not bad enough to need stitches. So the weird glue that like dries almost instantly as soon as it hits your skin.
Yep.
You know it?
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
I have children. I know it. Yeah.
Had to glue their heads shut a few times.
Well, yeah. I remember Nico like ran into the kitchen counter and sliced through his ear.
That's right.
And I was so angry.
Oh God. Oh.
And of course, it was like after all the urgent cares were closed, and we had to go to the emergency room. It was anyway.
Yeah. But I was talking to the guy that was gluing my thumb about cars, and he was like, "Well, what do you drive?" And I was like, "Oh, I have a little Fiat 500 Abarth." And he was like, "Oh, no way." And then what did he say? He said, because he asked, what my hobbies were, if like this thumb was going to prevent me from like playing guitar or doing anything worthwhile. Right. Like, no, it's fine. I just like work on cars and type on computers. Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, those little French cars, man, they're gonna keep you busy. Like keep working on them. Like I knew he meant Italian. I wasn't like actually. Yeah.
Close. That's close. Right. That's close.
That's the most recent thing that somebody said about the Nugget. Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we move on from this picture, I do want to mention one other thing that I noticed. Yeah. Is that this is the platonic ideal of protective parking.
Oh, okay.
Where you can see there's no spot next to them. So it's a strategic spot as it is. They have parked far over in the thing, but they're not over the line.
Right.
They're not like obnoxious with it where they're parking across like 2 or 3 spaces or something.
Right.
Just subtly like, hey, this thing's nice. I'm going to be over here.
Right.
You guys carry on.
Right. Not like that cowboy and truck we saw. Yeah. Right.
Exactly. Like this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
Right. Yep. This was on a floor that like it was just me and this car. Like we were the only 2 cars. There was like a construction workers Toyota Camry way down on the other side.
I do like that you didn't take the temptation to park right next to
I thought about it for the picture, but then I was like, I don't feel like moving it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I will say, I have accepted my charge, Ian. I have a charge. I've been charged. I have civic duties now. Did you know that?
Well, no, it's a Fiat 500. It's not Civic.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. But like Sarah Silverman says, we all have duties. Sometimes they're big and stinky.
Yeah.
But Ian, I am the guy that when I see a parking spot that has this concrete piece jutting out of it.
Oh, right.
I'm the guy that has to park in it. Whether I want that spot or not, I have to flagellate myself and take one for the team so that somebody else's truck isn't sticking out into the parking lot. This is now Dave's spot, the Nugget spot. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I do that with my Volkswagen. Right. So, I mean, it's the same thing, but yours is even, it's even more stuffy. So, yeah.
Because even with that, look how much space I have in front of it. Yeah. So
you're also the person that everybody hates in the Whole Foods parking lot because they think, oh, I see a spot over there.
Yes. I try to park at the end of a space. Yeah. Yes. That's what I try to do. Yeah. And I park far away anyway because I could use the fucking walk. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's my duty, Ian. Let me tell you about my duty.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
So, how about a license plate game to close this mammer jammer out?
Let's do it.
You want one? Okay.
Let me do it. Yep.
Okay. Ian, I only have one plate game for you. Got a couple others I'm cooking on, but this one, it's called Many Minis, Ian.
Okay.
Many minis.
Okay. Maxi minis.
Many minis. Ian, here you go. Play game for you, buddy.
All right. Oh boy. Well, okay. Two of them are not minis. Okay. So, oh my God. So two of them are smart cars. One of them has white walls and fake wood trim.
And it is orangish red.
Yeah.
And has a crazy little hang down exhaust. Yeah. Here you want to go straight to zoom in and
there's a lot there. Utah plate?
Yep. Utah plate.
Oh man. So you know they're a freak.
White wall tires.
And meats.
And meaty meats. Yep. Yep. And a weird little tiny exhaust thing. And like a giant
ill-fitting exhaust. Yeah.
Chrome bumper. I don't know if they had those.
Strange.
Yeah. Look at that chrome bumper.
That's really weird. Okay.
Right? That's like the San Francisco parking package bumper.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got a white Smart with Iowa plates and a bunch of stickers on it.
Yeah, they might be a healthcare person.
Nebraska.
Like might be a nurse. Yeah.
Yeah. They're a nurse who goes to Warped Tour.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Okay.
All
right. And then we've got a white Mini Cooper, base model Mini Cooper.
Yep.
In Ohio, parked in front of a Marshall's.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at these plates. The plates are Mini for Ma, half car, and mini car. Oh,
many minis, Ian. Many minis.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man.
Yep.
This is gonna be tough.
You're gonna get this one. I just know it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go quick.
Did you folks hear that? That was the Ian license plate switch flipping. He's locking in.
Yeah. All right. I think Mini for Ma is the base model Mini Cooper.
Okay.
They're parked in front of a Marshall's. I feel like a base model Mini Cooper in white, no mods. We're dealing with a pretty vanilla straight ahead thing.
Okay.
Right? So it's just,
all right.
It does what it says on the tin. An old lady drives this. She's Ma. That's her Mini for Ma. Done.
Okay. All right. That leaves half car and mini car.
And yeah, because one of these smart cars has to be labeled as a Mini.
Right. There you go.
I think mini car is with the wood trimmed one.
Okay.
And half car is with the white Smart, the Warped Tour Smart. That's what I think.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because I think, I think the mini car, the wood paneled car is supposed to look more like retro-y.
Okay.
And I don't know, it just fits more. And half car has a K in it.
Okay. That's more of a punky.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe that wouldn't necessarily like occur to somebody who wood paneled their Smart and put white walls on it and a chrome bumper.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a feeling.
Sure.
I'm not feeling super confident about this because it's I could go. You could say it for any of them. What's going to be really funny is when half car is the Mini, and and the Mini doesn't have any reference to the Mini in it. But I'm sticking with my answer.
Okay. All right, Ian. I have mostly somewhat okay news for you.
Okay.
You nailed Mini Format.
Okay.
Yep. Mini car is the nurse. Yeah. The Warped Tour nurse, and half car. Yeah. PETA sent me the half car, I think like 2 or 3 days ago. And I was like, this is exactly what I needed to like round out this.
This one's crazy.
I've had this one in the works for a while. So PETA sent it. I even had another one in there that I was going to go with. And like PETA sending this one in like overrode that one.
Yeah.
And
Jessie sent the other two?
Yep. She sent in Mini car and Mini Format.
Oh, yep. Man, good spots. Everybody.
Right?
Man, that one was tough.
Yeah. Thank you, PETA. Thank you, Jessie. Those are great. Yeah. I have had Mini car. Let me see if I can get a date for this, because I think that might be one of the oldest vanity plates.
That's funny.
We have, yeah. Mini car. Mini car was from, I must have cropped it recently. Let me see if there's a date created. Oh, no, just March of the same year. Yeah, of 2022. Okay. But anyway, yeah. Keep sending plates. 720-515-1391. Ian.
ApexAdjacent@gmail. If you send it to the Gmail account or to the text number, Dave will get them.
Yes.
If you send it on Instagram or Twitter, I will get them.
Yep.
And then probably forget to make a license plate.
Not true. Look, thank you, Zach.
Yes.
Go buy Victoria's book. Hang in there, Dana.
Everybody, thank you. We love you. Goodbye.